You can buy a real castle in France starting at around $180,000. Not a ruin, not a fantasy, an actual chateau you can own. I've found 7 real listings for 2026, and I'm going to walk you through all of them. Some are ready to live in, others need work, and I'll be clear about which is which so you know exactly what you're looking at. Prices are accurate at the time of this roundup, and as you'll see, what you get for the money is pretty surprising. Let's start with the first one. We open in the south of France, in the Hérault department, wine country, sun-baked villages on limestone ridges, the kind of light that makes everything look like it was shot on film. And right here for 160,000 euros, that's $188,100, is the first castle on our list. And I want you to hear that number again, because we're talking about a chateau in France for under $200,000. Castle with views in Fontès, built in 1837, and from the outside it's exactly what the word castle puts in your head. Stone, history, character baked into every wall. At 124 square meters, or about 1,343 square feet, it's compact by chateau standards, but don't let that fool you. 3 rooms, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a terrace, and a cellar. And according to the listing, it's equipped and it has that terrace, which in this part of France means you're sitting outside in the golden hour with a glass of something local and looking out at views the listing doesn't even fully describe because they don't need to. This is Fontès. The views come with the address. Now, the listing doesn't specify heating details, so, as always, check every document and ask your agent about the practicalities. But as a price anchor, can I actually own a French castle entry point? This is the one that opens the door. And the best part is, you're in the Languedoc. Beach is an hour away, Montpellier in striking distance, and the cost of daily life here is genuinely gentle. Solid start, but the leader's already about to change, because the next one doubles the size for not even double the price, and it's got a twist you don't see coming. Before we get there, quick France note, the TGV network here is legitimately one of the best in the world. You can be in Paris from the south in 3 hours. Bordeaux, Lyon, the coast, all accessible. The country doesn't feel remote, even when you're surrounded by farmland. Keep that in mind as we go, because the isolation question is the first thing people ask. And France tends to answer it well. Paul, in the far southwest of France. Pyrenees in the background. Basque country not far. A city with a real airport, real infrastructure, real expat community. And we're looking at 373,000 euros, which is $438,600, for what the listing calls a beautiful estate. Let me paint this properly. You've got a rural neoclassical chateau at 394 square meters, 11 rooms total, 7 bedrooms between the main house and residence, and the original features are all still there. Central pavilion, dormer windows, high ceilings, cornices, wood paneling, ornate marble fireplaces, large double interior doors. On the ground floor, entrance hall, a rotunda reception room, a large living room, kitchen, dining room, shower room. First floor, 4 large bedrooms each with their own shower rooms. Second floor, 3 more bedrooms and a bathroom. And outside, a swimming pool with its own pool house, a tennis court, a bridle path, and a pond. There's also a chapel and a 4-car garage and a 1,140 square foot separate residence. Now, and this is where I'm going to be straight with you because that's the whole point of this. The listing states that significant renovation work is required. This is not a move-in ready property. It's an exceptional one, and it's priced accordingly for what it offers in scale and architecture. But you need to walk in with eyes open and a renovation budget. The bones are extraordinary. The setting is extraordinary, but the work is real, and I won't gloss over that. For the right buyer, someone who wants a legacy project in the Pyrenees foothills with a tennis court and a chapel, this is a rare find, just not a turnkey one. And the best part is, PAL has direct flights to London, which matters more than people realize when you're planning your life around a French estate. That said, the next property shifts the energy entirely because we're going older, we're going bigger, and the history gets genuinely surreal. A quick breath of pattern interrupt here, because we're heading into the Viron now, which is one of those French departments that most people have never heard of, and that's exactly why the prices still make sense. Volcanic plateaus, medieval villages, the kind of sky you forget, exist when you've been living in a city too long. The Loire Valley cuts through it. The air is genuinely different, and what you get for your money there is frankly hard to explain until you see it. Mur-de-Barrez, built in 1776, an 18th century chateau on the Carladez Plateau, surrounded by a 7,000 square meter wooded park, and we're talking 395,000 euros, $464,500. At 550 square meters of living space across 3 levels, this place is genuinely massive. The ground floor has a majestic entrance hall, 3 large reception rooms, and an original kitchen with cellar access. First floor, 2 large bedrooms with fireplaces, and 5 additional bedrooms. 7 bedrooms total on 1 floor. Second floor, a vast convertible attic with natural light, thanks to a recently redone roof, which tells you someone has already invested in protecting the structure. There's also a 150 square meter barn and 2 pavilions framing an elegant courtyard. Now, full transparency, the listing is clear that significant work is required to make this habitable. Heating, sanitation, bathrooms, insulation. This is not a move-in property as described. It's a heritage renovation project, and the listing says so directly. But here's what makes it land differently than the others in that category. The scale. 550 square meters, 7 bedrooms, a barn, 2 pavilions, a 7,000 square meter park. The roof is already done. For under €500,000, you are acquiring a piece of 18th century French history that has genuine bones, and the best part is, the Viron is about to get a lot more connected as infrastructure improves. Who's this for? Heritage enthusiasts, project-driven buyers, or someone who sees a renovation as the point, not the obstacle. Not everyone, but for that person, genuinely hard to beat. Now hold on, because the next one is the mid-list twist, and it might actually be the most cinematic property we've seen so far. Ouarville, in the Beauce region, an hour and a half from Paris, and we're now at €415,000, or $488,100. And this is the one that makes your jaw do something involuntary, because this is a 12th century chateau. 12th century. The building standing there has been standing there since the 1100s. The architecture is composite, layers of history literally built into the walls, with plaster-coated exteriors carrying a patina that, according to the listing, reflects centuries of successive adjustments, each generation using what was there and adding what was needed. There's a hexagonal watchtower covered in ivy with a tall slate spire standing next to an even older bell tower. There's a round rubble-stone tower on the other side. There's a patio of local stone that opens onto the garden. The windows are placed in ways that feel slightly random because they were each reconfigured over the centuries to capture different light, and that's not a flaw, that's living history. The listing describes the property as the former seigneurial chateau with a garden, and while it doesn't itemize every room, what it gives you is atmosphere and age that money genuinely cannot manufacture. Now, honest check, the listing doesn't specify the full interior condition, so curator phrasing applies here. Check what's been updated, what the structure needs, what the documents say, but for $488,000, an hour and a half from Paris, with a medieval watchtower and a 12th century stone garden, that's not a real estate listing. That's a piece of France's actual history with a price tag on it. And the best part is, being that close to Paris means you could live there and still function in the modern world without sacrificing either. Retention check. We've hit 5 properties and the leader's still shifting. The next 3 are the ones I've been building toward. Don't go anywhere. Viron, center of France, and we're at €430,000, $505,700 for a chateau dating from 1640. Now here's the twist that changes the energy of this whole list. This property is within the grounds of the Viron Hospital Center, which gives it a provenance that is genuinely unlike anything else on this list. Built in the 17th century, approximately 450 square meters, and it comes with a dovecote, a well that is listed as a historical monument, a tower, a 5,000 square meter plot split into 2 sections, and a 500 square meter outbuilding. The ground floor alone is about 150 square meters, entrance vestibule, large living rooms on both sides, offices, cloakrooms, and it retains original fireplaces and parquet flooring throughout. First floor, spacious bedrooms including one with an ensuite bathroom. The attic has already been converted into 2 separate apartments, each with a living room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom. The listing notes renovation is needed. The wood-fired heating system needs commissioning, and some outbuildings require work, so this is not fully turnkey, but the converted attic apartments represent usable space right now, and the architectural features are intact. And the best part is, you own a well that's a historical monument which means you are literally acquiring a piece of France's protected cultural heritage as part of your real estate transaction. That's not something that comes up twice. Now, last two. This is where the list changes gear completely, and I need you to stay with me because the value jump at the end is the reason you opened this. Quick regional snapshot. Burgundy, because that's where we're going next, and it deserves a second of setup. This is wine country in the most serious sense. Gevrey-Chambertin, Nuit Saint-Georges, names that appear on bottles that cost hundreds of euros on restaurant lists. The villages are small, the roads are lined with vines, and the lifestyle operates at a pace that people spend their whole working lives trying to earn access to. And we're about to walk into a chateau right in the middle of it. Ternant between Gevrey-Chambertin and Nuit Saint-Georges, and we're at 450,000 euros, $530,000, for a 17th century castle that has been restored progressively by its successive owners over the years. And that word restored is doing real work here because this is the first castle in our upper tier that the listing describes as having approximately 200 square meters of current living space that is functional. Kitchen, 2 living rooms, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of storage. This is a place you can actually move into. No major renovations holding the door shut. The listing describes a jacuzzi, a sauna, a cellar, and quality finishes throughout. There's also an 80 square meter dependency on 2 levels. A separate outbuilding you can restore or convert according to your own vision, which is a feature, not a liability. And this castle is in the heart of the village, not isolated on a hill, which means you walk out your front door into one of the most storied wine villages in the world. And the best part is, Gevrey-Chambertin is not a place that loses value. You're in the Côte d'Or. The surrounding land is some of the most valuable agricultural real estate on the planet. You're not buying into a story. You're buying into a region with centuries of proven desirability behind it. For remote workers, for retirees, for anyone who wants a base in France that comes with cultural gravity and real livability, this is the one that keeps rising in your mind after the video ends. But one more, and this one has scale that changes the math entirely. Valence, the Drôme, southeast France, where the Alps meet Provence, where the climate starts to genuinely warm up, where you're within reach of both the mountains and the Mediterranean corridor. And the final castle on this list is listed at 495,000 euros, $582,100 on Soundtrip for a property at 397 square meters, or about 4,268 square feet, with 6 rooms including 4 bedrooms and a terrace. Now, the listing is lighter on interior detail than some others, so I'll hold to curator phrasing. What's confirmed is the scale, the 4 bedrooms, the terrace, and the size that puts it among the largest properties we've seen at a price that is still under $600,000 for a genuine French chateau in a region that connects you to Provence, the Alps, and the Rhone Valley all at once. That terrace in this part of France is not a small detail. This is a climate where you live outside for 6 months of the year, and a terrace on a castle with that kind of backdrop is the whole story. And the best part is, Valence has a TGV station and an airport, meaning you're not choosing between beauty and access. You get both. Is the listing thin on details? Yes. Does that mean you ask more questions before you commit? Absolutely. Always check every document, verify condition, understand the fees. But at this price, with this size and this location, this is the kind of find that doesn't wait around. Listings move fast, and this one has the kind of appeal that travels. So here's where we land. If you want the most accessible entry point with views already included, Property 1, Fontès, under $190,000, and France starts there. If you want the most turnkey living experience in the most prestigious wine postcode on this entire list, Property 6, Ternant, Burgundy. Move in now. If you want the most cinematic piece of living history closest to Paris, Property 4, that 12th century Ouarville chateau, which nobody who sees it forgets. And if you want scale and southern light in one package, Property 7, Valence, the closer. 7 castles, 1 country, prices that honestly still feel like a glitch in the market. Comment below, which one would you actually pick and what would you do with it? Subscribe if you want the next region, because what's coming is even more unexpected than France, and the prices are somehow lower. See you there.